Whoosh! Dr. Monolades, my name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Deku had what if Deku had blood, like, it's supposed to be called What if Deku had bloodless transformations. So, but I was like, you know what, I'm was lazy, and yeah. Well, now, without further ado, let's begin with we'll go down. So, he is the combination of Toga's, like, basically blood transformation and Momo's creation. And, yeah. Because he also has basically lava powers. Like, basically his blood is literal lava. Not like magma, just straight up lava. He can, yeah. Or should I say his saliva was as lava, and his blood is more of a cool down of water. So, yeah. So let's begin. There is going to be some, like, monsters, or there is going to be some limitations to it, but you'll catch on when it gets to that part. So, and I'm also adding Zumi into this what if, because she'll go down the same path as the canon version, but with a quirk. And, yeah. So now let's begin. And with Zuko and Zumi been born, and his parents doesn't know, or so actually in this, like, what if universe that I'm creating right now, or you're listening to right now, is that back then in the past of this what if, people back then had like superpowers, actual superpowers, not a quirk, but actual superpowers. Like Superman has like basically super strength, super speed, and all that stuff. Yeah, talking about those kinds of powers. Sorry, Batman. And all right, that's okay. So then, when that superpower died, then it came a new generation called quirkless. Yes, generation. Where everyone is like, it's like you and me. Hey, we don't have powers. We don't have. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, so now, oh, Zuko and, so now, so when the quarks came into a world, basically, I know I'm on this picture, but I'm going to change it so that my phone won't, yeah. So, yeah. So then now we get into more modern day quirks. Yeah. I keep saying, I try to say quirks like in the superpowers things. Like this guy shoots a cannon type. But I keep saying corpses for some stupid reason. So, yeah. So now, Zuko and Zumi been born in this time period of where quirks were everyday normal thing. Momo, so at age of 3 years old, Momo is like at love first sight. And so when, hold on just 1 second, because I'm preheating my coffee, so yeah. So that's what I'm doing right now. So now let's explain what the going on. So so now Zuko, so that all changed for the worse for Zuko, but it's better for Zumi. So at age of 4, like basically 4, they go to the quirk doctor. And the quirk doctor tells Zumi that she does have a quirk that's flame control. Basically, she can produce fire from herself, like how an Endeavor has, because Asashi is a fire breather and Inko is a attract, like basically attracting small objects to her. So that makes sense. Yeah. So, but then where is he? Oh, hold on, let me grab. I know, I heard it. So, where is he? Where is the quirk doctor? Oh, here it is. So, the quirk doctor tells Zuko that he's quirkless. So, then after that, his parents ignored him or abandoned him, and everybody else makes fun of him for being quirkless, except for his beloved Momo, because she did not care if he was quirkless or quirked. So most of the time he spends his days with her until the times get 15. And yeah, he helps his family out with a lot of things. But no one knew, except for the quirk doctor, knew that Zuko wasn't born powerless. As he tells himself that this boy has more power to him than people back then, way in the past. What I mean by that is it basically is like the end of the dinosaur age and into the superpower age. That's what it is. So the court doctor actually heard stories about it, about how people have powers to like crumble the world if they wanted to. Like some of them have powers to like control water, fire, air, magma, everything. But Zuko, on the other hand, is the last person of his of that time period. So, hold on. Yeah. Sorry about that. So, yeah. So Zuko ends up basically, or so the quirk doctor's like, better for, thank goodness, I still have his blood. As he has a little jar, like a canning jar kind, full of Zuko's blood. Because he knows what type Zuko is for his powers. But but Zuko doesn't even know. Until one day, when he was the age of 13, he learned, because let's say a dishwasher of Momo just randomly crashed, like basically when the like I'm trying to word it. Like basically it broke. So Zuko walks in and Zuko tries to fix it, as he needed some light. And so, but his right eye became a light or flashlight as he, yeah. So when he looks, whoa, that's weird. And so he pulls it out, he checks it, and someone was messing with the wires of it. So he puts red with red, blue with blue, yellow with yellow, and he tapes them up and fixes some screws and yeah. But he didn't realize his arm, or when he was trying to tighten the bolt, his entire hand became the wrench. Like basically I forget what those things are called. The ones that screw in the, yeah. So he's like, that's weird. As he rubs his eye, as it was back to normal before. As that's weird. As he fixed it, pushes it back, just enough to have. And so when he restarted the dishwasher, it ran like a brand new system. As he says, okay. So he did tell Momo's parents about it. And so Momo's parents were like, "Oh, we never noticed that it was broken. Did it randomly?" As Momo says, "Yeah, it's been broken since we first moved in. Remember?" "Oh yeah." As yeah, so Zuko actually says, "I fixed it," and as they went in, and they see looks like a brand new system, and when they pull out the dishes that was dirty when the machine broke was still broken, but when they pull out the dishes, like basically when they fixed it, or when he fixed it, the dishes looked like they were brand spanking new. So yeah, the Zuko's like, or they're like, "Thank you." Okay. Yeah, and so yeah, then he learns how to control his powers. As he literally is basically was just walking around the city, and he's trying to like figure out where to eat. But hold on. Make sure that so yeah, where he eats, and yeah, but Momo's parents gave him money for, and so he bought a Big Mac with ketchup and all that stuff, like McDonald's food stuff, because, or actually, or let's say not McDonald's. I meant some random restaurant, or the owner of the restaurant actually let Zuko eat there for free. Hey, because during the time skip when he was the age of 12 or age of 14, he actually saved the restaurant owners' life from being killed by the villains. As Zuko didn't realize it, as he looks at his shoulder, and the missiles like basically came out and destroyed all the villains. Yeah, like absolutely only the villains died. As he's like, "I didn't mean to do that." As it was nervous activation. As he, like, as it goes back into his body. That's weird. And the store owner says, "But thank you for saving my life, and you'll be eating." Okay, I know you're hungry, and yeah. So they actually gave him a seat, and like he ate so much that and drank so much that even his own blood, used to be like average human blood. Like like blood goes through your body and like there's so much you could lose from it. Well, Zuko's, every time he drinks, drinks, like soda or water, it boosts his blood to unlimited and ammo, basically. Unlimited blood. So, yeah. So then now 15, now time skip to 15 years old, and Zumi and Zuko had their birthday, but no one showed up to his except for Momo and her family. Because Zuko was depressed because some random, or because everybody thought he was quirkless, but then, so, yeah. So then Momo and all the ones with quirks joins UA. Yeah. I know what you're going to say in the comments. First of all, I forgot. I just thought about this. I know you're going to write in the comments says, how do you accidentally shoot the missile out of your shoulder holder and say, ooh, that's accidental. Remember, nothing in these what ifs doesn't even make any sense. Plus, sometimes he's still learning how to control his powers. So then So then Momo goes to UA. She's in class 1A with Zumi and Bakugo and the rest of them because and all of them are, except for Momo, all of the remaining people really didn't like him. So I'm skipping all the way to All Might versus All for One. But Zuko did face off against Hero Killer Stain during the sports festival, as he blocks the Hero Killer Stain's sword with his own arm that turned into a shield, as Tenya's brother was injured, but just only a couple scars, no big deal. Yeah. So then he's like, thinking his eye came. I heard that Hero Killer Stain was in town, so as Hero Killer Stain's in his head, how does he know who I am? And he planned to and how can someone with that type of quirk, as Hero Killer Stain, because he learned, or he hears stories about people actually having superpowers instead of quirks. Can it be? Young man, Who are you? I'm Zuko Midoriya. But friends call me Deku because of quirkless. As Hero Killer Stain went from being like all bloodlust to it's an honor meeting you and shaking his hand. Forgive me my apologies about. Okay? As Zuko's a little bit surprised. As Tenya's brother is even confused, like, why did he do a whole 180 on become... He was trying to kill me. And so, let me take my lead, Eve. Bye. As he leaves, that was weird. Heard, as Zuko says, you must be Tenya's brother. Man, you do look beat up. Yeah. As he picks up him, or actually his arm turns into a grapple or the claw. So he grabs Tenya's brother, lifts him up slow so that as he's like, you're... Are you a part machine? I don't know who I am. Or I don't know what I am, actually. He called you Zuko. Or, no, he called you... Or he did a whole 180 on you. Like, he wanted to kill... Like, bloodlust, but then, out of nowhere... He did a whole 180... And apologized... And left. Do you have a secret or something? No? I really don't know who I am, or what I am, actually. Because you're quirkless, as he says. But then Tenya's brother read his parents read him the same story, or he remembers the same story that the powers had way more advantage over anything. And answering the question about me as a UA student, no, I'm not a UA student. Okay. As Zuko says, I was an innocent civilian. Zuko actually... So Tenya's brother says, hey, if you were the UA student and then wanted to become a hero, you could easily join my agency. Okay? Because we always need someone that's can produce, like, transform their bodies into different things. Yeah. And, yeah. So, now we move on to here, so All Might versus All for One, where Zuko was at the quirkless school. He's on top of a building, and he was watching the news of of All Might was about to get killed by as his entire body changed, like shapeshift, into a literal plane. And it took off. Or he took off like da 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 da. And yeah. Hold on just 1 second. Enough. And no, I didn't like whack her too hard. I'm talking about my dog. So so basically All For One says it's time for you to die. As they hear the big, like, sound barrier. Like, boom! As they look up. As they see a fighter jet. And, like, a green fighter jet that comes in. And they're flying. He's flying. And he's like, take this. As, Zuko's shoots literal miniguns, like basically like bullets. As All For One turns around and All For One says, as Zuko grabbed, or as All For One turns his entire arm into, like, missiles. As All For One shoots he's about to shoot he shot a missiles. As All For One, and like, because as Zuko's dodging the attacks, thanks, as I know how to play that game. As he transforms back into a human, and that was fun. As he has jets on his legs, keeping him floating in the air. As Bakugo's like, wait, what? Zuko, you have a quirk? As All For One clarifies, no, he actually has the power. Or that allows him to transform himself into, or transform any parts of him into anything that, as he literally turns his arm into a big cannon. And then, the reason why I had this kid and like mouth thing shoots a cannon, well, Zuko actually, or let's say Zuko pulls out both of these two big arms, and he shoots a cannon, like, from his own mouth, too. So he's like, he says, it's time for you to die, my friend. As he Ezuku used his powers to, like, teleport everyone around him, except for All For One, to the other side of or out of the blast radius. And when it went off, man, it makes the one punch man ultimate attack looked like. So it makes that attack look like child's play. The same one that, yeah. If you guys have not seen the season 1 of the anime where, or I think it was season 1 or season 2. It's one of those where I'm trying to think, not Beerus, but the guy with alien. This one. And it makes that attack look like child's play. Yeah. Zuko's attack was so powerful that even like All For One couldn't even be like, oh no, as he's running away, as kaboom! Yeah. All For One did not make it. He got obliterated. As he turns his arms back, as everyone was like, holy crud. As everyone was like, if this is, as everyone thought, their first thought was, Zuko, their first thought was, if people have superpowers like that back then, and would been, and like, we all be dead, and so All Might even witnessed it, seeing how powerful the attack was, and Zuko's his body, when he basically used all of what he had, and as All For, or Zuko was looked like a skeleton, as he collapsed and died right then and there. Because Zuko did not make it. Dear lies, Zuko Midoriya. Because he had to, or he gave it his all to obliterate any villains, as he, yeah. as the only thing he basically decomposed, like his skin, and there was only skeleton remains. As his friends, his own family, and students, and everyone that watched it and seen it, yeah, half of them were scared, the other half was depressed. Momo is depressed. Like, what I mean by that is she's basically sad that her boyfriend died. And yeah. As they buried him right in the cemetery, as everyone can't believe that Zuko sacrificed his own life to save him. Yeah, because he actually saved the world. Because during the time, or before, there was a bigger threat called Galactus. Oh, hold on. There you go. Sorry about that. I was looking away and then I saw like this. So Galactus was about to come to Earth but he got obliterated by a same attack by Zuko. So, 2 birds, 1 stone, at a cost of him losing his life. Yeah. So when the time skip, Momo encouraged everybody to train hard, because Zuko and Zumi actually knows when she wanted, or she even trained harder than anyone, like pushing her body to absolute limits, because everyone knows that she's in pain more than anyone else, as everyone can't live in the constant pain of losing the guy that just saved the world. As Zumi told them that my brother's wishes of being a hero came true. But his only regret is actually how all of us would have the same regrets. And that would be, we treated him as quirkless, like outsider kind. But he wanted everyone to who live in peace with and make people smile. That's all he wanted. But sadly, we crushed his dreams. As that's what he always wanted. To make people smile. Oh, he always... It was during 2 years old when we first met you, Momo. Oh, and Bakugo. We always been... I always asked him, what's one thing that you desire her more? As he told me that he wanted to become a hero and to save people with a smile, to make people happy, and yeah. He did save Toga from that attack, so then and so a time skip to the future where Overhaul, basically arc. And so during the time skip thing, no one knew that only people that do know is actually the Quark Doctor. And he built a machine before, and he has tested it out as he doesn't want to live in pain for not telling Zuko that he does have a quirk, or actually all that stuff. Well, Zuko, so he basically built a machine, of course, and he has tested it, and he also dumped a full glass jar full of Zuko's blood into it, and it starts assembling Zuko. Like, basically it evolved him into a full body, but the problem was it was electricity. So he grabs because Zuko has now been fully revived slightly because of him. But the Zuko actually aged fast. He went from looking like this kid to looking like... Where is he? Oh, right here. He looks like that. A lot more taller man, green hair. His eyes are more focused and... Yeah, all that stuff. Well, Zuko is tough. One tough cookie. So when he brought the life paddles to restart his heart, as he came back to life, as he just gets up, what happened? As the court doctor says to him, welcome back, Zuko. It's a long time. So, and I forgot to mention, the court doctor actually put some special type of power, or should I say quirk, into the blood and like mixed it around and poured it into a machine. So the quirk evolved into a actual power called unlimited stamina. So he doesn't need to eat or drink to have constant flow of blood, basically. It's like Cost Down from Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you discard a card and then you like basically special summon basically a level 7 monster that turns into, or actually a level 6 monster into a level 4 monster. And yeah, all that stuff. So let's continue. So so then Zuko's like, he doesn't, like, because his memories were fuzzy, but he remembers all the way to the where he had to use the attack that he used that obliterated not just All for One, but Galactus too. Who? So, yeah. And, yeah. Yes. But during the time that you've been in the grave, you actually have now a permanent power that is now, because I wanted to say this to you. You were born quirkless before, but you didn't, you were not born with powers. Or so, sorry. I know this is going to be a long one, but hey, that's okay. So, yeah, and I might have to redo this what if because of whatever that was. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying to you guys, not what he's saying. So, but now let's get back into the story. So, yeah, Zuko. So the Quark Doctor tells him that told him everything that happened during, like, when he died. So, Zumi was pushing herself to be, like, absolute limitless. Like, she tries her hardest to become like you. Because your wishes were to become a great hero, right? Yes. And all that stuff. I know. So, yeah, Zuko was basically was a little bit shocked when he heard and that his sister wants to be like him because he so is there something wrong? No, it's just I'm thinking I think it's quite hilarious, but also sad at the same time. As Zumi, or as the quack doctor says, I know it's hard for you to accept why. Because you are the only one. You check. Welcome back. And sorry about that. So I had to check the machine thing or checking my recording, and it ran great. So where we left off, I remember it was a couple minutes ago where the Quark Doctor and Zuko were having a conversation because the Quark Doctor brought him back to life. And so, and he also told the Quark Doctor there's one thing that I did do, that I did save the world. It was worth it. What? As the Quark Doctor looks at Zuko. Who? What did you do? There was none of you, or did you track any weird suspicions? Like how will I put this? Any people that have, or that any electrical interference? Well, yes. Why? You ever heard of Galactus? No. Well, his full name is Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds. And with that name, you would tell that he wanted Earth as his dinner. So I killed All for One and the Galactus at the same time. As so the Quark Doctor's like, we'll cheers to that. As he cheers, as he drinks the... And so, yeah. So then, he did have a power to teleport. And so, he puts on a fancier outfit, and he joins basically the overhaul, and he did have his own hair, like he changed his hairstyle to a more like what you see on your screen. this one, like his hair. And he wears a mask over his face with his body structure. And his hair color is different from his usual. So Overhaul relies on him too much on it. But he still has some suspicions and yeah. So now, let's continue. So now we're on to the Overhaul arc where All Might versus yeah. So they're like running and Zuko stays behind as Mirio is about to as he runs right in. As Zuko just straight up counter his axe. As he used his missiles hands, as the Mirio's shocked, as he could think of one person that could do that to mimicking that could, but he's been dead for a long time. As he's wondering why why the guy has Zuko's powers. Oh, you'll find out. So then he knocks Zuko out. And so he actually did something that was pretty crazy. Like, how crazy? Well, let's just say he's crazier than three toads off in the pickleberry. Yeah. Well, I haven't used that saying in a long time. So now, without further ado, let's continue. So now, so then the monster arc, then they thought as Zuko's sorry about that. And if you hear that sound, it was me eating a piece of candy. So, yeah. So now, let's continue this what if. So, when Zuko snuck away, and he does see his sister has stress under her eyes. Because she's been training harder every day. At Overhaul, it says, it's time for you to take a nap. Permanently. As he's about to kill Zumi and Ares. But then out of nowhere, Zuko says, get away from my little sister. As he transforms into a plane and rams right into the Overhaul, sending him backwards about 3 football fields away. Yeah. I'm not talking about the mini ones. I'm talking about the big ones. Yeah. Well, full-size ones. Yeah. And Zuko's like, Who are you? I'm just an ordinary man that has powers that are... Wait. As Zumi looks up, as she had tears coming down her face, she knows who he is. Zuko, or brother, is that really you? Yep, it's one and only me. How did you survive? And how did you... The court doctor brought me back to life. Him. So, and I already did thank him for it. So, now let's finish this together, her little sister. As they both as he grabs Ares and brings her to the heroes. As Momo, when she saw who he was, she could not believe her own boyfriend survived. I'll explain everything later, okay? So, but now we just need to focus on getting Ares out of here and also take down Overhaul. Agree, as Sir Night says. As actually, Sir Night Eyes didn't get killed during it, so when Zuko was came, and so he transforms his arm into one cannon, not three, that almost blew up the, So when he basically says boom, or he actually turned himself into a tank. Like a military tank. And have his sister on him. And ready? Yep. Fire. Boom. Boom. As, Overhaul is now splitted back into the 5 counterparts. And so then the next day, he had to explain everything to them. Like how he came back because the court doctor revived him back to life, and as it was a noble sacrifice, as he says, because I didn't just kill all for one. I also killed there's a entity called Galactus. He's basically the world devourer. Basically devours worlds. And you're welcome. And so everybody, honey, when everyone heard that so Bakugo's like, dude, I know that you don't have a quirk, but actual powers? That's flippin' awesome, man. As Bakugo went from you're quirkless, you're useless, and all that stuff, to they did a whole 180. I know this is a long video, but that's okay. And most people that saw him, because he actually mean, he did take off his mask, and his hair color did, or he did dye it brown before. And so he washed it out as his hair color turns back to normal before. But he's still the same Zuko that we all know and love. And so everybody's like, including Nezu, basically, was the only person that actually didn't know that he is still alive. So when he showed him, he did call Nezu, and Nezu, hey Nezu, what's up? I mean, I know that you're, how did I get this number? Is because my little sister gave it to me. As Zuko says, as Nezu says, it's good to see you, man. Or young man. Come and stop by my office at UA Academy. Yeah. Sir Night Eyes even told Zuko that you did great on it. So yeah. So then he ends up. So he goes to UA, and he gets accepted to UA. He got accepted to UA way before her, but everyone made fun of him for being quirkless. As Nazir says, why didn't you, because I know that you who have great potential to go to UA, but why didn't you? Well, it's because back then everyone was making fun of me for being quirkless. Yeah. So that's why. And having a quirkless person on your team, or that wanted to become a hero, didn't sit with anybody. So that's why. But now everyone knows that you're alive and you have powers. And you also did one other thing. You took care of our major threat. 2 major threats, actually. All for One and Galactus. Yeah. Because, yeah, All for One was number 2 threat, and first threat would be Galactus himself. And, yeah. So, he did, before he died, actually, before Zuko died, he actually cleaned up the city before, or the debris around before. So, they honored him as a true hero. Oh, that deep down everyone's hearts. So now this part is technically would be done, but and Zuko does get married to Momo. I almost said Ochako, sorry. Momo, and yeah. So, and Zumi gets married to Bakugo, and so, or actually, scratch that. Zuko gets, or no, actually, Zumi gets married to Todoroki. Ochako gets and Bakugo, and her, yeah. It was just weird. Sorry for that real long pause, and yeah. And they did have kids that, like, so Momo had 2 kids, or actually 3. One has both the quirk and the powers. The other had powers similar to her father. And the other one, that's their youngest, has his father's power as a quirk instead. And without any weakness. And let me talk about that. His weakness was actually if he uses too much of his power. Like, basically, if his blood dries up, he would have died instantly. But the quirk doctor gave him a quirk that's unlimited stamina. Or unlimited thing. When Zuko came back to life. So, yeah. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed this What If. And sorry for it. This was really long video. I had to break it up into 2 separate videos. And now I'm weaving them back together. So, and I hope that you guys enjoyed. And yeah. Now it's time for me to just relax. And let me have my cup of coffee and all that stuff. So, peace out, Cub Scouts, and have a good night or day. Depends on the time zones. Peace.